is your position that John 12:41 does not identify Jesus as Yahweh, because you believe John to be referring to Isaiah 53 and the suffering servant rather than Isaiah's vision of Yahweh upon his throne. Is that a correct summary of your position as found on page 176 of your book, and I think in your last statement?
It is correct that I believe that this statement in John 12:41 with respect to the glory that Isaiah saw is not a reference to Isaiah 6, but a reference to Isaiah 53, correct?
Okay. If that is the case, could you explain why it is that the Septuagint, that Isaiah 6:1 uses all the key terms found in Isaiah 12:41, including Idon and Doxa, which means glory, and says the house was filled with his glory, all terms not found in Isaiah 53?
John chapter 12, verse 41. Notice, this word right here is separated by one word from this word right here. Okay? Do we find this word in Isaiah chapter 53? Yes, we do. We go to Isaiah chapter 53, verse 2 in the Septuagint, and it's right there in a form of it. Now, do we find this word right here? Yes, we do. We go to Isaiah chapter 53, once again, verse 2, and it's right there. Notice, it's also separated between one word, as it is in John 12:41. It's separated between one word, just like it is right here. Now, the reason Stafford is going to Isaiah chapter 52, verse 13, for those of you who don't know much about Judaism and how Jews separate the Bible, when we say, let us go to the parashah, behold, my servant shall prosper, we go to Isaiah chapter 52, verse 13, because that's the original verse 1 for Isaiah chapter 53. That's right. This is the original verse 1. Jews separate their verses, their chapters, differently than Christians do in their Bibles. Okay? This is verse 1. Isaiah chapter 52, verse 13 is the original verse 1 for Isaiah chapter 53. We don't start our verse 1 right here. We start our verse 1 right here. Okay? Now, notice that I got two things. Oh, yeah, that right here. When you go to the Septuagint, you will notice a form of doxa used right there. In fact, it spells doxa right here. See, it's the same right there. See, doxa. Now, what's the translation? That translation is, behold, my servant shall understand and be exalted and be glorified exceedingly. See, he's going to be glorified exceedingly. After what? After what takes place when you continue reading from verse 14, which is verse 2 actually of Isaiah chapter 53. You read all the way to the end of verse 12. After you read all this, after this is all done, he's going to be glorified exceedingly. Okay? And this is what John is writing about. John, like I, and maybe like Stafford, believe that he saw it in a vision, that the Messiah is going to suffer for our sins. He's going to be put to death for our sins. He's going to be resurrected. For you'll notice that it says that after he dies, he shall see seed. Okay, now seed there is referring to spiritual seed. Well, how is he going to see spiritual seed if he's dead? You see, so it points to his resurrection. And Isaiah saw him being glorified, and this is why he starts out the original verse 1, the original verse 1, which is Isaiah 52 verse 13, and says, glorified exceedingly. You see? I believe that he saw this in a vision, and he wrote about him, starting at verse 13.
Including Idon and Doxa, which means glory, and says the house was filled with his glory. All terms not found in Isaiah 53.
Liar. Notice, right there, right there, right there. Terms are used in Isaiah chapter 53 and in verse 1.
All terms not found in Isaiah 53. All terms not found in Isaiah 53. All terms not found in Isaiah 53.